I've been trying to get off this damn station for years, but they won't let me go. Colorado Public Television is actually a pretty unique, special thing. So I thought I'd spend a little time, well, talking about it. You know Dominic Dezzutti. It's not my fault you know him, but you see him here all the time. Who you might not know is Kim Johnson, who actually runs the place, and I kiss her rather gorgeous tush all the time just to keep this job. So thank you so much for that.
So that's what that conversation was.
All right. First of all, this station has been weird before any of us got here. I mean, I remember Teletoons. Do you remember Teletoons?
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many drunk high school nights I had watching Teletoons. How did this place start?
Oh my gosh. It started with what is often referred to as a bunch of people that they call hippies in a shack.
Right.
And whether that's accurate or not, I think it's at least a fair opinion to have about it. So there were, our founding fathers decided, let's do public media a little bit differently. And instead of following the more traditional PBS line of content, they wanted to bring in other voices. And we had many voices in the chorus, many voices that were very interesting and really for the betterment of the station. But yeah, that's how it started. They wanted to just do PBS differently.
I mean, this is a weird place, and I got to tell you, I'm tired of being the draw here. This is the ratings, this show here, and
thank you, John.
This is everything is built around this. I get so many calls from NBC and Fox, but I say no. No, I'm going to stay here local.
Mostly pertaining to restraining orders? Or?
It's restraining orders, and there's a... All right, so we've been watching this since kids. What makes this station different? You call it local voices because that's how you have to do it in fluffy talk. But what's weird is that there's local programming. People come out here and they have hard-edged opinions, not the soft, cuddly National Public Radio, usual PBS sort of, well, let's talk. No, there are hardcore conversations here, including CIO, but other programs.
Well, I mean, I think this show and Colorado Insider are great examples. I think really from like we talked about, you know, our founding hippies that said it was okay to tick some people off, because if you're going to talk like real people and actually have conversations that matter in a community, they're going to probably have to include some opinions. They're going to have to include some things that might not necessarily make you very comfortable, but that's how you're going to progress in a discussion. That's been the way the station started 35 years ago, and the way that I think make the shows that we do with this one and Colorado Inside Out somewhat iconic.
I mean, I remember the Lambda Report being here before gay rights really was accepted. At the same time, that god-awful Rush Limbaugh TV program, thank God it was short-lived, was on the same station. So you could watch Limbaugh and the Lambda Report right here.
Well, I think we can thank Kirby McClure for that, and his very dry, witty sense of humor, because we do have to question ourselves. If we are saying that we are open for different perspectives, you got to be open for that. And when I first started here, I thought, wow, what is this in many ways? But yes, Ted Critchell said, let's bring Rush Limbaugh. Ted Critchell's? Ted Critchell's was our general manager from about, I want to say 88 till about 2000-ish, something like that. Great guy. Now working within CPB, Corporation for Public Broadcasting. But he said, let's bring this in, and we had Lambda Report first. So Kirby said, all right, he's a quiet guy, I'll do that. But he put them back to back. And, you know, and I became a Kirby fan after that.
Well, and nothing against PBS. I mean, but PBS is PBS is PBS is PBS. Every city you go to, you can watch Sesame Street and Masterpiece Theater and, you know, the News Report, and you know, and it's fine, all right? It's good stuff, but there's no personality to it. There's no zip, there's no sizzle, there's no, you say being able to offend people. Do you get, I mean, we get hate mail over me, which I love, but I mean.
Dominic Quick Writing.
But I mean, why is it that so much of public broadcast, and public radio as well, is so hesitant to offend, when in fact that's the juice of life to have these conversations?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I can't answer why PBS chooses to do that narrow definition of public media. I can put my guesses as to why that just moved forward, and starting from the foundation of education, there was a lot of academic influence into the system, and I think they think a little bit differently. So this station for many years had kind of a wide breadth of age, gender, perspectives, all at the table at the station. I remember looking when my first staff meeting, looking around the table thinking, wow, you know, what is this? But because we brought all that in, we decided intentionally to be different than PBS. I mean, PBS is part of our core brand, and the education is second to none. And I think some of the Novas, all of these things, second to none. But it does have a tendency to be same like a network. So that's why we intentionally bring that in. It's not just the content we produce, but it's the independent producers and their content that we bring into our schedule that we always have. Quite a bit.
There's also a little bit of the island of misfit toys around here. I mean, you can call it diversity and try to celebrate it, but you know, they couldn't get on air anyplace else. This is.
Now they could, because everybody is a broadcaster
everybody's
on YouTube.
YouTuber. Yeah, thank God. When you guys go to the conventions, when you have to, because there's overlap and you got to go, and I'm sure broadcasters get together and do whatever you guys do, lobbying for more of my money and crap like that. Do you guys stand out as, oh, those are?
We do.
That's them over there. What? How so?
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't imagine that you don't, because it's a stuffy crowd, and this is not a stuffy station.
Well, and it's not necessarily a stuffy crowd, but what you find is a lot of different stations needing to be beholden to different funding mechanisms or something else, where they can't afford, literally, to really step out of line, or they're going to lose something that's going to help them survive. Because we're community-based, we really, literally, are being funded by our community, the entire state of Colorado. So if there is a segment here that hates seeing Jon Caldara on the air, well, you know what, that's okay, because they're going to see Amy Goodman on the air the next day. Or if they think Amy Goodman's just way too left, they can tune on a Friday and see David Cope on Colorado Inside Out. When you broaden out that spectrum of supporters, you can get the kind of, I don't want to say courage, but you can afford to bring in this different comments that may or may not make all of your different funders happy. You need to really spread that out. So when we are on the national plane, you see other broadcasters like, how are you doing that? And then we say, well, it's okay if someone calls us up and says they're actually angry about it. We love hearing from our viewers, so they love it or they hate it.
There's something, talk radio loves angry letters because it means somebody is listening. PBS, public broadcasting, NPR, I don't think they like angry letters. They want thoughtful letters, but that we can actually anger viewers by engaging them in all those different ways. So when you go to these conventions, what are they saying about you?
Well, I've been on a few panels for those conversations, and I
do they all use NPR voice when they're talking on the panels?
Why,
Kim?
some of them do. So yes, some of them do, and I think it depends on the kind of the temperature of their own communities and how long they've been at a station as general manager. I think that's key. I think it's probably good to refresh that position fairly often so that you can bring in that influence a little bit. But yeah, we either intrigue them or we frighten them. So we had a bunch of folks out from PBS and other general managers this last summer, and so it fell on a night when we were doing one of our Red Rocks concerts. So got everybody tickets, and thanks to our very generous producer, we got everybody tickets. They went out there, and they couldn't help but look around and say, oh, wow, look at this convening. This is really cool. This is great. But it's the same crowd.
Which faux rock band was this?
This one was, it's called Tribute.
Folk.
We've got to get you a new marketing director. But yeah, the Beatle Tribute Band, and they loved it because it's the experience. We're not saying, come see the Beatles. We're saying, come enjoy the music and come hang at Red Rocks at a price you can afford to take, a family afford to. But at the same time, many of those folks were also really wanting to find out, okay, now tell us about this 9/11 controversy, or what was this doctor program that you aired? So again, they take a look at it, but when you look at it from that business perspective, so with our pledge, we have one of the ways that we're unusual, just one of the ways that you call us odd, is that we have a much higher proportion of our pledge programming that comes in from independent sources than just from the PBS and National Program Service. So we get a lot of revenue from that. So why is that working. We're tapping into something, you know, thanks to a very clever development director that we have, Sherry Burnson. So we're tapping into that, but it doesn't resonate with everybody. So again, it's like, oh, wait a minute, let's try it. If it's kind of like, okay, if it works in Colorado, we'll try it in another state.
Well, and this might be a bad comparison, but I remember when Saturday Night Live started. I'm old enough to remember that. And I remember somebody writing, oh my God, it's like a bunch of college kids took over a TV station after the news. And it was that, you know, we're not too sure what's going to happen. We got to watch this. It's not slick. It's a little rough around the edges, but damn, it's good. And that's what I feel about here. We've got only a minute left. How big is the budget here, and how much help do you need?
Well, I thank you, and I assume you have your checkbook.
Real fast, have a minute,
yes.
move it along.
Okay, our budget is $3.5 million, and about $1.35 per American goes into federal funding.
Well, good,
so
then get rid of the damn federal funding so you don't have to worry about that $1.35.
Well, and people can
like
take
me.
a look at their entire amount of national or their federal taxes.
The only thing wrong with public broadcast is that it keeps getting subsidized. This is a great station. Thanks for putting up with me. You go away.
Thanks, John.
You check out the Independence Institute at independenceinstitute.org. Have a great new year, and we'll see you next time.